Hello, hello, wrestling fans. This is your boy, the Bryan. I'm back here tonight to do my review on Monday Night Raw, which just went off the air just now. So we start off Monday Night Raw with Seth Rollins talking about John Cena and how he's broke his nose and how John Cena's sitting at home and not accepting his challenge. Hasn't heard from John Cena about his challenge at SummerSlam, title for title, and that how John Cena didn't want to come back to fight him anyway. So then he had say John Cena was there via satellite. Then they had a picture of John Cena with broken nose and somebody talking through his mouth, pretending to be John Cena talking. And so doing all that, so out comes Cesaro, who says that he wants a title shot, he deserves one, he wants it tonight. And Seth Rollins was like, I didn't say I was going to defend my title tonight. I said that was a one-time deal. And then after that, Kevin Owens comes out, says Cesaro has improved himself. I mean, he hasn't accomplished what he has. He beat John Cena with something that Seth Rollins or Cesaro hasn't done. And matter of fact, that Seth Rollins tapped out of Cena 2 weeks ago, the night that he broke his nose. And he said if anybody deserves one, he deserves it. So then comes Randy Orton, who says he deserves a title match. And then out comes Seth Rollins also says, he says, you know, I don't care what you think or what the authority thinks on the match, what I think. And then the Triple H comes out and says, you know what, Seth, since you run your mouth, we're going to make a match tonight between Cesaro, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens, and the winner will face you tonight for the world title and the main event. So after that, we go to our first match, which is a 6 Divas match between Team Bella against Team Bad, with Team Paige on commentary. It's a pretty interesting match. Tamina ultimately tries to hit Brie Bella with a kick, and Brie Bella ducks, pins Tamina. After that, they jump on Tamina. Tamina jumps on Brie, and then Team Paige comes out into the ring, and they all go at it. And then Team Bella is thrown out the ring, which leaves the other two teams standing face to face. And then they're like they're finna fight again. Then they turn around and look at the Bellas who stand on the sidelines. So after that, we have a match between the New Day and Los Matadores. And the team on New Day featuring Kofi Kingston and Big E. And this match, the team of the New Day picks up the victory as Big E has one of the Lucha Matador, the Los Matadores, and his big ending move, and as he gets ready to drop down with the big ending, Kofi Kingston off the rope and finishes it, and so therefore New Day wins the match. Then they go backstage with Renee Young as they celebrate their victory. Renee Young tells them they have a match against the Primetime Players at SummerSlam. Then she breaks the news down to them that it will be a fatal 4-way match between the New Day, the Primetime Players, the Lucha Dragons, and Los Matadors for the WWE Tag Team Championship. So after that one, we have Seth Rollins is backstage with Triple H, and he says to Triple H, that he had an open door challenge and he don't understand why he's defending his title. And Triple H says, you know, you got to start proving yourself every night, you know. And Rollins then says, well, John Cena can do it every week, that he can do it better. So after that, we have our triple threat match between Cesaro, Owens, and Orton, with the winner ultimately faces Seth Rollins tonight in the main event. So it's a pretty good triple threat match. Go back and forth. Orton finally picks up the victory after he hits an RKO on Owens, and then he hits Cesaro with an RKO, pinning Cesaro, 1, 2, 3, earned his title shot for later on tonight. So then we got Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns backstage talking about the Wyatts, talking about how that Luke Harper was so loyal to Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt wouldn't be to do the same for him. And then after that, we get we have a match between Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose. In this match, it's a pretty physical match. Bray Wyatt tries to get involved and tries to hit Ambrose, and then Ambrose ducks, and Roman Reigns hits Bray Wyatt with a Superman punch. Then he goes after Bray Wyatt and he starts beating on him. Then Luke Harper jumps out the ring and kicks Roman Reigns, and then Ambrose jumps over the top and jumps on both of them. Then as Ambrose gets back in the ring, gets on top rope, he goes for some move. Luke Harper ducks. And then he turns around and hits Dean Ambrose with his clothesline. Picks up the 1, 2, 3 victory, giving the victory for Luke Harper. And then after that, we have Miz TV. On this, we have Miz TV segment, which with his special guest was Daniel Bryan. And the Miz is talking about how he ain't never been out wrestling for injuries, and he wondered how what Daniel Bryan has been doing with all that time off. And Daniel Bryan talks about his new book and how it's the best New York best time seller, and how he's a judge on Tough Enough. And Miz says, I am too. And he's just pointing Daniel Bryan, and he tried to take all the credit for Daniel Bryan's success and all this and that. And he says that Ryback should be like Daniel Bryan. When Daniel Bryan got injured, just relinquished the belt, and that Ryback should relinquish the title and give it to him. Then out comes the Big Show, who says he's tired of Miz running his mouth, and that Miz was gonna have a chance at SummerSlam to beat him or Ryback. So then here comes Ryback, who makes his return tonight, comes in the ring, and they stare each other down. The Miz flips out the ring and just looks at him, hoping that they go at it. And while they stare each other down, Daniel Bryan sneaks behind the Miz, throws him back in the ring. Now the Miz is caught between Big Show and Ryback. So then the Big Show attacks the Miz, and then after that, Ryback hits the Big Show, throws him out the ring. He waits on the Miz to get up, and Daniel Bryan and the crowd screaming yes, yes, yes. And finally the Miz gets up, and Ryback hits the Miz with a meat hook clothesline. So then after that, we have our next match, which was between Rusev along with Summer Rae, taking on the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Very physical match from the beginning. Summer Rae, well, before that, Lana was on commentary doing this match. Summer Rae gets on top of the apron, tries to cause a distraction toward Mark Henry. So while Rusev is taking advantage of that, he beats on Mark Henry, throws Mark Henry out the ring. Lana comes off commentary, grabs Summer Rae by the legs and knocks her off the apron. So then Summer Rae throws Lana back into the ring, and Lana just is in the ring alone but Rusev. Mark Henry tries to come back and help, to no prevail. So then Summer Rae gets up and starts beating on Lana. And while that's going on, Rusev tells Summer Rae to crush her. So Summer Rae puts Lana in Rusev's accolades and forces Lana to be laid out. And Lana also states before all this happened that Dolph Ziggler is recovering just fine, and he will return shortly after SummerSlam. Can't wait to see you back. And again, Dolph Ziggler, we need you. So after that, we go to our next segment, which was a match between Adrian Neville and Wade Barrett. In this match, Wade Barrett loses to Neville as Neville hits him with the red arrow. So after the match, Stardust comes out and jumps on Neville. And after he jumps on Neville, he looks outside to the ring in the crowd, and he looks at Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow, the guy who plays on Arrow. And he pushes Stephen Amell's face in the face. Stephen Amell jumps over the barricade, jumps into over the top rope into the ring, and starts attacking Stardust. So the security had to get him. So after that, they go backstage with Stephen Amell and Neville. And Triple H said, I ain't got you here as a guest. Now that's to compete in the wrestling ring. And Neville's like, what about what Stardust started? And then Triple H was like, we'll take care of Stardust and I'll handle Stardust situation. And then Stephen Amell was like, no, let us handle it. And Triple H was like, what are you talking about? He said, make a match between Neville, me, against Stardust and Wade Barrett. Triple H was like, nah, I'm not going to be responsible for what happens. Stephen Amell said, I don't care if I might not be no professional wrestler, but if a man hits me, I'm ready to fight him. And he said, I'll do whatever it takes. I get my lawyer to sign a contract or whatever. I take full responsibility. So Triple H says, okay, you can get your lawyers to fax me some paper, some work tomorrow by 9:30. You'll have the match. And he said, good luck. And he said, I hope you know what you're getting yourself into. So the match has been made official. Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow, Adrian Neville, the Red Arrow, versus the team of Stardust and Wade Barrett at SummerSlam. So, moving on along, we go to a backstage segment with JoJo talking to Sheamus about his thoughts on the night's match between Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. And Sheamus was like, I really don't know who to go for, Randy Orton or skunkhead Seth Rollins. So, you know, Sheamus was like, you know, they say there's a lot of chaos concerning the WWE title, but he said there's one key factor is I hold the key and I will be your next WWE champion whenever I want. And he said, who knows? I might cash in tonight. So then we go to the main event, Seth Rollins and Randy Orton for the WWE World title. In this match, very physical. You know, Rollins attempts to hit Randy Orton twice with the pedigree. Randy Orton tries to hit him with his second rope DDT. Rollins reverses it and actually hits Randy Orton with his actual same move, the DDT. So then Rollins attempts to hit Randy Orton again with a pedigree. Randy Orton kicks out, flips him over, blocks it. Then Randy Orton takes Seth Rollins top rope, gives him a suplex. We think the match is going to be over. So then Randy Orton trips the RKO, Seth Rollins ducks. So then Seth Rollins gets on the rope, and Randy Orton catches Seth Rollins out of nowhere with an RKO. So then referee counts 1, 2, and all of a sudden Sheamus comes in, pulls Randy Orton off, start beating on Randy Orton, gets Seth Rollins disqualified, therefore Seth Rollins keeping his title. So after all this, Sheamus, after he takes out Orton, he goes in the ring, sets Rollins up, hits him with the bro kick. So we thinking, oh, here it comes. Sheamus is ready. Ready to cash in the Money Bank. So he keeps handing the referee the briefcase. Says he wants to cash it in. The referee's just holding on to the briefcase, and it's like, you know, he don't want to ring the bell or whatever. So then, as the referee gets ready to finally ring the bell, before he gets a chance to make an official, Randy Orton sneaks back in, hits Sheamus with the RKO, causes Sheamus not to be able to cash the Money Bank. So therefore, Seth Rollins escapes tonight, Raw, still the world champion. So, you know, overall, Raw, the matches was pretty decent. Too many long promos tonight, though, folks. You know, other than that, you know, the action was pretty good. It's just the promo cutting was too long. You know, I think that they need to lessen the promos down a little bit more so we can have more wrestlers, get some more action. You know, but, you know, overall, I ain't too disappointed with the show. But I still say, you know, still need some work on it. I mean, they is hyping this SummerSlam thing up between Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. It's the main event. You know, that's the most talked about match. The rematch from WrestleMania 2 years ago when Brock Lesnar ended the Undertaker streak. So, you know, SummerSlam looked like they have a pretty decent card going on. You know, they're announced a couple more matches. You know, we got that match Undertaker and Brock Lesnar rematch from WrestleMania 2 years ago. And we got that a 6 Divas triple threat Divas 6 Diva tag team match, elimination match between all 3 factions. Then we got that Stephen Amell and Neville against Stardust and Wade Barrett. The triple threat match between ryback, Miz, and Dan and Big Show. Then we got a fatal 4-way for the tag team titles again. Like I said, primetime players, New Day, Lucha Dragons, Los Matadores. Turned out to be a pretty good, interesting card. You know, still 1 match to go. It's gonna be a 4-hour spectacular. Maybe this SummerSlam will make up for last pay-per-view they had, which totally sucked. Battleground. Now I'm telling you now, you know, for you to go 4 hours, man, you about to be putting on a hell of a show, folks. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, don't waste my time, man. They're gonna charge you $54.99 if you are for your cable satellite provider. So if you ain't got the app, you need to get it. I mean, the app's pretty good. They have a lot of content. You know, I support the WWE on that part. You know, you can go back over and watch some of the greatest matches, some of the greatest pay-per-views. You know, even some old film like WCW. You know, ECW. But you know, folks, you know, the wrestling, it's not as it's still got a lot of fan base, but it's not as exciting as it used to be. You know, when I used to be a little kid, you know, I could see myself, you know, getting pumped, you know, electricity flowing through my veins with excitement. You know, it just don't excite me too much like it was, because you know, it's all about, like, you know, pretty much know the outcome majority of the time now. You know, back then it was like you really didn't know what's gonna happen. So you know, you had your good guys, your bad guys, and you know, you always had that adrenaline gush when your good guy was about to do his finishing move, about to win. Nowadays it's like, oh, and it's like the same old boring segments over and over. We talk about, they show the same old stuff over and over, same matches over and over. I mean, you know, I hate to see that. I think the professional wrestling is quickly going down the drain, and I would like to see them step up and bring wrestling back to make it more exciting. When I was a little kid, you know, I mean, folks, I mean, it's all entertainment now. It's like a soap opera. But you know, you say, why am I dogging them and give you reviews on them? Because, you know, I grew up into watching professional wrestling all my life, and I just love to see the wrestlers. You know, it's just something I'm just so accustomed to. You know, I mean, even though it may be boring, it ain't as enthusiastic or exciting as it used to be when I was a lot younger. I still like to see it, man. You know, I'm just a wrestler fanatic, you know. But you know, I really wish that they can come together some kind of way and make the matches more exciting, you know, for the fans to really enjoy. You know, take some of the I know it's entertainment, but take some of it out. You know, make it like it used to be. You know, when it actually looked like good. You know, good shows. You know, I mean, that's all I ask. I mean, you can come up with better promotions and matches and stuff like that, you know. You know, the WWE is the top organization, and you got other promotions, you know. They do their thing, but it's hard to compete with something when you don't have the funds, or you don't have the right people in the right places of authority to book you great matches, entertaining, you know. But you know, I like to see wrestling the way it used to be, when it's actually wrestling, you know, and less chit chat. I mean, I don't mind the promos, you know, that's good to have them to build up your rivalries with people, you know, with each other and stuff like that. But I do think that they need to cut them down a little bit, you know, because Raw started off the night. It took them about almost 20 minutes before they finally got to the first match. I mean, come on, guys. That's what's this called world wrestling. The key word in the middle, wrestling. Not, I understand it says world wrestling entertainment, but not, how's it entertaining to hear somebody run his mouth for 20 minutes? What's the entertainment than that? I mean, it's funny, some of it. Some of it's good promos. Bray Wyatt, a good promo cutter. Stardust, since his gimmick is totally off the chain. It's whack. You know, it's crazy. It's just insane. But the promos he cut lately, hey, pretty good. I mean, he's out there, man. He's out there. But overall, Tonight's Raw, on a scale of 1 to 10, I get a 5. But you know, we got more wrestling coming up this week. Don't forget I'll be back Wednesday night with my TNA and NXT review. I'm not gonna do no RH unless it comes back on before TNA, because I'm not gonna waste my time on give you a stand up to like midnight just to give you a review on some crap for 2 matches maybe, and you know, ain't no excitement. I mean the matches they be good. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. They have some good matches. It's just not long enough. So you know, I mean it's too long, not enough matches. So you know, I ain't gonna waste my time on that crap. You know, but I like to say, I'll holler at you when it's peace.